Netflix just made the boldest move in its history. And it's not a new show. Netflix has placed a $72 billion bid to take over Warner Bros. But before Netflix could celebrate, Paramount kicked the door open. Suddenly, this isn't a deal. It's a bidding war. Let's rewind. Netflix has done something companies almost never do. It released its internal takeover pitch. A memo meant only for employees, filed with regulators, and shared with the world. Not out of transparency, out of necessity. Because Netflix wants Warner Bros. And with debt included, the takeover crosses $80 billion. One of the biggest media acquisitions ever attempted. But to understand this takeover, we need to understand Netflix and where its story truly begins. Netflix started in 1997 as a DVD rental service. In 2007, it pivoted to streaming. In 2013, it became global studio. By 2024, it had 260 million subscribers in 190 countries. But growth slowed, costs exploded, competition multiplied, and Netflix released something simple. Renting stories is expensive. Owning stories is power. Now look at Warner Bros., a century-old studio, a cultural icon, DC Comics, Harry Potter, HBO, CNN, thousands of films, tens of thousands of episodes. But Warner Bros. Discovery also carries massive debt. Over $45 billion, job cuts, shelved films, erased shows, rebrands, and constant strategy changes. Wall Street lost patience. Netflix saw an opportunity. So Netflix made its pitch. A focus on studios and streaming. No cable baggage. It promised limited layoffs. It promised theatrical releases. It promised creative independence. The memo positioned Netflix not as a monopoly, but as the challenger to trillion-dollar giants like Apple and Amazon. Then everything changed. Paramount entered the race. Reports say Paramount, backed by powerful partners, has made an offer above $100 billion. A full takeover of the entire Warner Bros. Discovery empire. Netflix went from confident to cautious. Warner's board now has two paths. Netflix's focused strategy or Paramount's massive all-in bid. Shareholders are watching. Analysts are recalculating, and the memo suddenly makes perfect sense. Netflix isn't just pitching employees, it's pitching regulators, investors, and the public. Because this deal isn't about content. It's about control. If Netflix wins, one company will own production, distribution, global reach, data, and franchisees. It will decide which stories get made, which films reach theaters, which creators rise, and which ones disappear. If Paramount wins, legacy Hollywood consolidates again. The old studio system grows even stronger. Either way, competition shrinks. And for India is not a distant story. India is one of the Netflix's fastest growing markets. Indian creators rely heavily on global platforms, and when the number of buyers shrinks, bargaining power collapses. Editorial freedom narrows. Algorithms take control. Because the streaming wars are ending and the consolidation wars have begun. Netflix once disrupted Hollywood. Now it wants to own it. Paramount refuses to be left behind. This isn't a battle for subscribers. It's a battle for culture. And the final question is simple. When a handful of corporations decide what the world watches, what the world remembers, and what the world forgets, who really holds the remote? Tell me what you think about it. This is Indu Tyagi and you're watching WantStats. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Stay tuned to WantStats for the news and stories that matter.